The Senate confirmed Ashton Carter as the new Secretary of Defense today. Carter sailed through the Senate in a bipartisan 93-5 vote. It's a much easier process than his predecessor Chuck Hagel faced. Carter will likely be sworn in early next week, and he's got a full plate ahead of him in his new gig. Here to walk us through some of that is the Wall Street Journal's Washington Bureau Chief Jerry Seib. Jerry, thanks for being here.
Happy to be with you.
So let's start with the Islamic State. President Obama, of course, asking Congress to authorize an even broader offensive. Where does that leave Ashton Carter in the mix of this?
Well, look, that's going to be quite a struggle, and it's going to be a political oddball struggle in which the administration is going to get support from Republicans for looser rules, looser restrictions on its freedom to pursue the fight against Islamic State rebels, and Democrats, his own Democrats, are going to be trying to rein him in, but put more restrictions on boots on the ground and geographic limits and time limits. So there's going to be a fairly long, I think, process of hashing that out. Ash Carter will obviously be in the middle of that. It's not at all clear, by the way, that there can be a resolution in the end that everybody in the Senate, or enough people in the Senate, can agree to. So it could put the administration and Ash Carter in the awkward position of pursuing the fight against Islamic State rebels without having won a clear resolution of authority from Congress.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Is it possible, though, the lift for him is a little bit easier on Ukraine? I mean, we are hearing that they're reaching a deal on a ceasefire. That seems like good news today.
Well, I think it's good news for now, but I actually think there are probably some real problems embedded in that for the new defense secretary as well. And what's happened today will ease the immediate pressure on the Obama administration to make a decision about going ahead or not going ahead with providing lethal weaponry to the Ukrainian government to help it in this fight against Russian separatist rebels in the east. I think the fact that there's a ceasefire obviously means the president can say there's no need to go forward now with that decision. We can just put it off. But I don't think the optimism that this ceasefire will hold, or that the Russians or their friends in the Russian separatist movement in Ukraine will honor it and behave over time is very high. So I think this decision is going to come. The question of whether the administration will do this decision will come back, and I think it's going to be over time more difficult. And by the way, there are some people in Washington who think the administration should go ahead and send lethal armaments to the Ukrainian government now because this won't hold, and if there's any prospect of getting the Russians to behave themselves over time, it's only going to come if they're getting some military aid from the West.
Right. I mean, to me, the other interesting thing, though, is Ashton Carter is now President Obama's fourth defense secretary in 6 years. How much is just managing that relationship with the White House going to fall on his shoulders?
Well, it's been a difficult problem for a lot of cabinet secretaries. Frankly, there is a kind of centralized decision-making process in this administration, centralized in the White House, that is, and it's made it harder for cabinet secretaries of all kinds to vector in and have real influence. It's been frustrating to several cabinet secretaries, including some of his predecessors at the Defense Department. That's going to be an ongoing issue. One of the advantages that he has is that this is his second go-around in the administration. He was at the Defense Department at the beginning of the Obama administration, something the president pointed out in the statement he put out after the confirmation vote today. So he's been around the track before, but there is a continuing question about the actual independence and authority of cabinet officials in the Obama administration. That's going to hang over him as well.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he benefits from having gone around this once before. Jerry, thanks very much for the update.
Sure, happy to do it.